I am devastated to be leaving the Make programme.
Just devastating, really.
Spiritually and creatively invigorated.
Very happy and very full of new information.
It's quite draining, but also quite exhilarating.
I don't know, we're only gone 20 minutes.
I'm almost relieved to be leaving. I'm so full up, I need to take a step back and take a breather.
I could easily have gone into a second week.
It's really given me a lot of motivation to continue the work that we started.
A lot of kind of work got done, you know what I mean? So, and you kind of make a lot of kind of new friends, so it feels like camp, you know, leaving camp at the end of it. Like,
Sad to leave because it's such a kind of vital experience.
It's very hard to say goodbye to these people.
It was an immensely supportive group of people.
Being really informed by all the other people and the other projects.
Bounce your ideas off them. You find out a huge amount about your own work through other people's work.
There's choreographers, dancers, writers, designers involved, and they all have their own ideas and different ways of presenting work, which I think you can only be inspired by, and it makes your own work better.
A huge amount of growth that would never happen if you were working on your own. To be in that situation where the creation of the project is a social thing as well is wonderful. I've never experienced anything like that before.
We absorbed a huge amount of the week and the experience that we had here and the people that we talked to into the piece.
The mentors bring a certain amount of experience that's very valuable, and they're very sensitive.
Astoundingly supportive.
you're meeting every day and you're constantly talking about the work. It really pinpoints all the stuff you want to do, you know.
They're so settled and comfortable in their practice, they're able to ground you and just bring everything back to the fundamentals and remind you why you do it. You're there to inspire the people you're collaborating with, and you're making work for an audience. Just by reducing all these ideas and these ambitions down to the basics, you can like push forward with very clear and precise direction.
All of the mentors were amazing, but I had Justin Vivian Bond.
Brett Bailey.
Raka,
Immensely inspiring.
an absolute gem of a person.
Excellent at listening to what our project was and really making us interrogate why we wanted to make the piece.
The sense of self that she had.
Flung that door open for me.
We felt incredibly comfortable.
Very interested in our work, very interested in the parts, the things that we could say and the things that we couldn't.
She always kind of kept me in line with where I needed to be.
Because your mentor becomes so familiar with it, they're really able to ask the types of questions that you need to be asked.
I ended up sort of discovering my intentions a lot through talking to my mentor.
She just asked questions which really needed to be asked, and then at other times gave us space to work.
Managed to guide us away from the rocks and then towards them, depending on what we needed.
She's just one of the most amazing people I've ever met.
Working with Vivian has been kind of life-changing, maybe.
Each of the mentors has a very different perspective. They all come from very different backgrounds, and that was hugely beneficial as well, because dependent on what the needs of your project were at a specific time, you could go to the specific mentor that would be helpful with that.
I have notes taken from a one-on-one meeting, which whenever I kind of feel lost, I'll just look back at that page, and I'm pretty sure that I'll kind of know how to progress once again.
The ideas that I was unsure of have been strengthened, and other ideas that I thought I was solid on have been thrown out.
It's a completely different piece, to be honest, and one that I'm 1,000 times more excited about.
The expectation that I had, although I wasn't quite sure what it was, it's been completely exceeded, because I didn't even realise that it would be possible to think as broadly and as lucidly about a project after the week.
I've never experienced an artist residency like this before.
It's probably one of the best residencies of its kind in Europe. There's very few residencies that you go on that are that all-encompassing, constructed essentially to allow you to do nothing else but work.
It's just so full of rigour, there's no hiding. Yeah, and it's like you get a month's work done in a week.
I think it's just the perfect setting. It's a really intensive week of work, and I think in the cases of pretty much everybody, their work has developed at a rate that certainly wouldn't happen if you weren't in the Make situation. I would advise anybody to go for the Make programme.
Get your friggin' application in.
Do it.
Do it. You won't regret it.
Absolutely apply.
If someone asked me, should I apply for Make? There wouldn't be a pause. I'd just say, yes, you should do it now. And I'd ring them up the next day and say, did you apply for Make yet?